Welcome back to the game. Wait a second. Hold on. Sorry, I just went back in time like 6 years. Some of these faces just threw me off a little bit. Anyway, the show is BabbleOnGames. We are here for episode 1. This is the Babblecast, and we are and will babble on. So this will be a little bit different than our old Friday show. This is going to be much more video game oriented. The name of the show is BabbleOnGames. So with that, let's go down the people that we know. Kyle, could you say hi to everybody?
Well, hi, everybody. Hello. How are you doing today? I'm great.
That's fantastic. Well done, Kyle. Johnny, could you please say hello to everybody?
Hello, everybody, and I'm doing pretty fucking good right now.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Johnny, I love you.
What happened?
Say hello to everybody.
Oh, hey, it might be 80 degrees outside, but it's 69 degrees in my house.
I don't get it,
Nice.
but okay. And introducing a couple of new individuals here. Dudious Max.
Hello.
Dudious Max, I'm so happy to see you. This feels like old times.
It's a throwback to like 5 years ago. It's great.
5 or 6?
It's 5.
12.
It's 5.
It's fine.
5. 6.
Rye guy, say hello.
Hi, y'all. Ryan here. What's up, everyone?
So as I said, this is going to be a video game centric show. So we're going to kick off with a couple of news stories, and then we're going to go down the line. Each one of us have selected something to talk about for the news that happened throughout the week, and then a couple of us have decided to cover off on a couple of games that we played and that we have or will be sort of reviewing. Unless Andrew changed his mind, but then he changed it again, and I don't know what he's going to do, so we'll just find out together.
Unpredictable. I like that.
Absolutely. Some late-breaking news, not really, because it's 8 o'clock on Friday, and this was discovered earlier today. Time Splitters is coming back, and I'm super excited about that. I used to play with the gentleman on this call, Mr. Dudious Max. I think I played a couple of times with. Rye Guy, I know for a fact I played with, and Ryan used to become furious when I would choose Monkey, and I would get my hands on Tommy guns, because I was short, and I was agile, and he couldn't get me. And
I still have the nightmares.
You still have the nightmares. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? The game's coming back, and we can give you all new nightmares.
Can't wait.
Kyle, Johnny, Andrew, did you guys ever play Time Splitters back in the day?
I did play Time Splitters. Me and a buddy of mine, we would actually torment the kid down the street because we'd beat him at the game. So, and until the point where he would just go home because we didn't like him. And that's how we got rid of him. We beat him in Time Splitters.
I actually don't believe you.
We should have done that to Jason. Oh.
Hey, inside joke should not be around. Johnny, did you ever play it?
Yeah, I actually had experience with Time Splitters, and it's actually one of those very enjoyable games on top of enjoying Twisted Metal. So, yeah, definitely, most definitely.
Nice. Little brother, I don't recall playing that with you, did I? If I did, I'm sorry, I'm unable.
No, I didn't play with you. I played with this kid down the street when I was at a other house.
Wait a minute, were you the kid down the street with are you the kid that Kyle was referring to?
No. This was when This is when we still lived. This is when I still was like in elementary school, middle school. I don't remember. It was definitely elementary school because you guys are all old. So
Mother. Anyway, Dudious Max. Again, I apologize. I can't quite remember if I played with you or not. Is this a game we played together, or is this a game that you have experience with?
I can confirm that I never actually played Time Splitters.
At all? Okay, see, I just lumped you in because whenever there was just a mass get together of any sort of gaming event, I just place you in there in my memory. It just makes them all better. The other piece of news I felt deserved to be brought up.
That so fast?
What's that?
It's like, how do you grab that so fast?
They're all right behind me.
The other piece of news, there was a lot of chatter today about Starfield. For those who don't know, Starfield is a game being developed by Bethesda, and I've heard people say it's going to be Mass Effect meets Skyrim. Okay.
yeah, right.
but it sounds like it's not going to be coming out this year. But we are going to see it at E3. Jason Schreier, author and video game analyst journalist, has apparently some resources or connections rather, and he's stating, no, not happening this year. It's coming next year. So just curious, if you didn't know about it, are you excited about it now with that analogy of Mass Effect meets Skyrim? Or you just kind of like, I guess we'll just wait and see. We'll just go down the line. Kyle.
I'm pretty excited for that game. As long as we don't get a at-launch No Man's Sky mixed with Fallout 76, then you know what? I'm completely fine.
It's like a doomsday scenario right there. Sprinkle in a little bit of cyberpunk, and then you get a tornado of shit.
Oh,
The
Jesus.
jank would just be all over the place in that event.
But no, it sounds cool on paper, right? That game does sound cool, but their past game, I don't know.
I'd be really hard pressed to believe that they figured out like what engine are they using. Like, are they just modifying the old Skyrim engine or the old Fallout engine? Like, what's this game gonna look like? We know next to nothing about it. So I'm tempering the expectations until they're supposedly gonna show it off probably at E3. So
That was sort of the message that Jason was putting out there. Like and the only reason why he made a statement was to temper everyone's expectations, because the rumor was, oh, it's coming out this year. It's coming out this year. So he doesn't verbatim, but he basically said, I'm putting this out there so everyone can manage their fucking expectations, which I thought was funny. All right. Anybody else on Starfield?
You know, as someone who's never played Mass Effect or Skyrim, I'm excited for the people that like those games. So let me know what you think, guys, because I will be a bystander on this one.
Yeah, it's probably going to have too many menus.
you might be
look,
the only human being alive that's not played Skyrim. That game's on every console ever.
I've witnessed people play Skyrim. Does that count for anything?
That's close enough.
I'll take it.
I never played Skyrim either.
What?
Yeah.
There we go, Johnny. The no Skyrim players right here.
Yeah, it's like when it comes to RPGs like that, it's just like kind of few and far between my play style. That's why I stick to Mass Effect usually when it comes to that type of stuff.
See, I'm excited for it, but I'm not because it's not coming on the Switch, so I'm not getting it.
I love it. I love
Don't worry,
it.
he'll change his opinion in 6 months.
6 months? You mean like a week?
The point is, it changes.
So as I said, everyone picked a news story that they were going to cover off. We have an order here. We're gonna kick it on over to Black Kool-Aid, who's going to talk about some Ps4 sales versus Ps5 sales.
Yep. So I pulled up an article here. The PS4 outsold the PS5 in April in the UK due to stock shortages. A shortage of the PS5 stock in the UK has resulted in its predecessor outselling Sony's new console for the month of April 2021. Although Nintendo Switch ultimately came out on top as the best-selling system during the period. The 4-week period ended in May 1st, 2021, saw just north of 90,000 game consoles sold in the UK, which represents a 59% drop year on year. However, it's worth pointing out that April 2020 was the first year that the country was in lockdown due to the coronavirus outbreak, which saw a massive spike in console sales. The Sony PS5 has been in short supply around the world since its November 2020 launch. Stock sold out, although retailers have been able to provide limited supplies on console over the past few months. Nonetheless, the PS5 has been incredibly difficult to hold of, which has resulted in scalpers taking full advantage of the situation, which is bullshit because I hate scalpers. Fuck them.
I like how you ended that. I hate scalpers. Fuck them.
Yeah, we all share that.
But
you know, sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Do you have more? You have more for that?
No, I was just gonna say something like, yeah, it's just PS5 is just hard to get overall, and I'm not surprised to hear this is something that happened in the UK because it's happening here. It's just like basically you can get what you can get, and you can't get. It's just kind of like you're just sitting there in your hands. Like I have money, but I can't get it.
That's the new pandemic right there.
Unfortunately.
I think the interesting thing is, they released some sales numbers, I think today too, and basically everything is up, right? Like that's to me that's the story. Everybody's buying. The Switch is still selling like crazy.
Yep.
The PS5 is selling just as fast as they can make it. Xbox Series X is selling just as fast as they can make it. The fanboys are trying to argue and whatnot, and say like, oh well, like the PS5 sold more than Xbox. And the thing of it is, though, I don't necessarily think that's one part of the story, right? Like
Mhm.
how much can you manufacture right now? I mean, there is a chip shortage going on, and I think that's the other angle is how long can this sustain? Because I mean, are we gonna run out of this chipset, and we're just not gonna be like the goal is to get these in the stores so that you can get them right off the store shelf, but it's almost looking like that might not happen for a while. I know Pat's a little bit more privy to that. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I know you and I have talked about the chipset thing before. Do you have anything on that?
About the chip shortage itself?
Yeah, what you think will happen, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like, do you think that we catch up?
No. So the way I hear it and read it, the microprocessor shortage is not going anywhere anytime soon. It's not going to be 2022 until the microprocessor manufacturers are anywhere close to caught up. The problem is it's a demand problem more than it is a supply problem. Just too many people fighting for the same number of resources when it comes to manufacturers. Like I know people in the auto industry that are out of work because they can't, the big three can't get the parts they need to build these cars, and that's got all kinds of knock-on effects elsewhere too. So I don't know how Nintendo's doing it. They must have had their orders in for a real long time in advance to be able to keep their supply up.
Well, yeah,
the
it's
other
because
two
they're
can't.
the best.
Yeah, the other two.
Oh
No.
yeah.
Waiting
Oh,
for
Actually,
yeah.
missed it. I didn't actually hear what he said.
He said because they're the best.
I mean, yeah. Look,
See.
90 million Switches can't be wrong.
No comment. Pat.
Silence.
Did
Dead
I answer your
silence.
question, John?
Yes, you answered my question. Thank you.
Sorry.
Anybody else on this?
I mean, it sucks. If I was someone in the market for a PS5, I would totally be miffed that I couldn't get my hands on one. So Pat raised his finger. What's up?
How many of those sold PS4s are like confused grandmas trying to get PS5s?
I bet you.
Poor
I would
Timmy.
say
90%.
Poor little Timmy.
Poodles. I wanted a PS5, you bitch! Oh my gosh! Oh
my.
children.
You guys should
No.
use that language. We're gonna have to cancel the Babylon show. That's what's gonna have to happen here, guys.
For an unrated podcast. But no, it's really unfortunate. It makes me wonder how this will impact the long-term sales of the PS5, the Series X. Long term, will there be a mass rush to buy these systems when they're readily available? How will that impact the overall sales when it's all said and done? Should be interesting to see in a couple of years, like how much the sales jump up when things are finally able to meet that demand.
That's
true.
it's a good question.
Who of us has a PS5? Like, just raise your hand, straight up. Look at those 1%ers. Look at them. Look at us.
Oh, good for you.
I don't want one.
Oh,
I
damn.
have a Switch.
You get that Switch Pro?
Yeah, absolutely. Day one.
All right,
So-
so
So am I though, but I also would like a PS5.
It's like
anybody else on our sales? Okay, great. Dudius Maximus. It's just
I don't even know what's going on right now.
it's just Dudius.
Just
Or,
duteous things.
or Pat. I like the dude as well. The dude
Oh.
abides.
What's up, man?
You've got a story for us that you've elected. Let's hear it.
All right, so some of you guys might know I'm a huge fan of retro style games getting physical releases. I'll show you back here. I got Streets of Rage 4, River City Girls. I love my side scrollers. I like my beat 'em ups. I like my 8-bit style stuff, 16-bit style stuff. Well, this week, Capcom and a couple of different partners announced that Mega Man: The Wily Wars is going to be coming to the Sega Genesis. They're going to put Wily Wars, which is also available on the Sega Mini Console if you have one of those. But they are releasing it. It's already actually up for pre-order today on Limited Run Games. I believe it's being done by, was it? Oh, this is killing me.
Wow, someone came prepared.
Right?
Oh, shit.
Someone's throwing some shade.
Someone is throwing some shade. Okay, it was retro bit. I wanted to keep saying 8-bit retro, and I knew that was wrong.
You couldn't let yourself do it because you was wrong.
So Retrobit is the one that's manufacturing the cartridges themselves. And what's interesting about it is they've redone some of the code and optimized it so that it'll run better on a Genesis than it did when it was on the Mega Drive in Europe and in Asian markets. This is the first time it'll be out on out in physical form in the North American market. Pre-orders are up today if you're interested, and the pre-orders go until this time next month, June 20th.
Nice.
Now, is there anything different about Wily Wars versus the Mega Man's available to us now?
So it's a compilation of the first 3 games in one cartridge.
Oh.
And it's got improved 16-bit graphics over the 8-bit. I don't know that I really like it better or worse than what was available on the NES, but they quote unquote remastered the soundtrack as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But the slowdown was really bad when it first released. So I'd be curious to see how much better it runs on the old Genesis hardware now.
I think what might make me get it is that there's save states. Because I don't like how hard they are.
John, you grew up in the 8-bit era, man. Come on, cut your teeth on that
I know
stuff.
full well. Hey, look. So I know full well how freaking difficult it is and the commitment it is to freaking get it down. So I just,
Hard games.
I like where gaming has gone, but I have a love affair with old games as well. That doesn't necessarily mean I want to subject myself to difficult level games where you just get game overed. So yes, I am happy for save states. I like difficulty levels. Kiss my ass.
Hey, well, we can talk about that after the show.
You got it.
The tough sticky point for me, and the reason why I haven't pre-ordered it yet, is it's $65. Like that's rough. I mean, they've got a lot of knickknacks in there. I've got the.
What about Paddywhacks?
Oh, good.
No patty wax. It comes with a really nice case. It comes with like the Genesis clamshell with the tab and everything.
That's
cool. It's got a full instruction manual, like a foil pack of cards, stuff like that.
All right.
But it's on the Sega Mini, so like I don't know if I could really. I'm having a hard time convincing myself to commit the $65 to it. Like I'm a sucker for this kind of thing, and it's still like on the fence for me.
I was gonna say, like, this is right in your wheelhouse, Pat. And like, knowing you growing up, you were one of the biggest Mega Man fans I ever knew. In fact, we used to draw the Robot Masters as kids growing up. So I could totally see you're gonna buy it. I guarantee you're gonna buy it. It's gonna be on that shelf behind you, and you know it. Damn it, you know it.
Probably.
He's like, yeah, I just ordered it right now.
Yeah, right. I'm on Amazon right now.
Yeah, let me pull it up again.
Kyle, Johnny, Andrew.
Yeah.
I'll say something. I'm sorry. So I'm enjoying this whole thing of like the fluctuation of basically putting out stuff for older consoles, especially Limited Run, because Limited Run is more or less like a newer thing to me. Like I think I started to really dive into it once they started talk about the release of Scott Pilgrim, and then start seeing like all their back catalog and everything, having them produce actual cartridges for older games being able to be used and stuff like that. And yeah, got to be honest, like this is freaking awesome. And I understand and justify the actual price point because I think they put their heart and soul into it, so it's gonna cost a pretty penny to actually get this done. So I would understand the price point, especially like all the stuff that's included. So I definitely understand, and so this is probably would be a chance for me to actually get back into playing older games because, me personally, I'm not really like a big platformer person.
Oh
But
no, we've learned watching you play Fall Guys.
Because I want to have fun,
Different
okay?
kind of platform.
Because I want to have fun with my friends, okay? But they're just not. They just like don't mesh with me. I get really agitated really quickly, and it goes for good content, okay?
Mhm.
It's great when Johnny gets mad, then he has his silent tantrums. They're the best.
You can see it in my face, like.
It's like he's going at it. There should be a lot of noise. There just isn't.
Yeah,
But,
oh, go on.
No, go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Well, I was just saying, like, yeah, I'm all for it. And I'm glad to see that they're actually doing this and everything's justified. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
I have
It's kinda
zero.
never been a
Go ahead.
Andrew. Well, I was gonna say it's kind of never been a better time to be a retro gamer. There has been so many releases coming out. I mean, look, recently they were talking about bringing back Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol. I mean, there is the best time to be our age and be into gaming because now they're bringing back everything we played as a kid. Wiley Wars never came out in the U.S., so it's kind of like a Star Fox 2. Well, actually, that game was never even released, period. But it's a cool kind of footnote in video game history, especially in Genesis history. Steve in the chat was talking about, I know nothing about Wiley Wars. Yeah, not many people did because it was a Europe-only release. So, through the efforts of limited run games, all these other companies that are publishing old school stuff, like this is like we're getting to relive our past and even experience new things. Like Johnny, I'm really excited that you might jump back into Mega Man because of this, which is a series that is near and dear to a lot of our hearts. So hey, more retro goodness. You can't complain with that.
Yeah, that's basically what I was gonna say too. It's like, you see it all over the board, and not just in video games, but even like in different mediums, like with the TCG, trading card games, for example. I mean, these stupid cards are going for disgusting amounts of money again, and it's getting so popular and so big, especially the older, like the forest packs and stuff like that you can't even find anymore, because they're all $300,000. But anyway, I personally don't have much interest in it, but I'm excited for those that do, like, Dudious Max over here. I know that that's right up your alley. I've been to your house. I've, seen your collection. It is amazing. So I understand how excited you are about this and Ryan and stuff like that. But me personally, I don't care. I mean, I'll probably play it if, it's just, if it's on my Switch, I'll play it. Because if it's on the Switch, I'll probably play it, so.
Unfortunately, they're releasing it to original hardware.
I know. That was the joke, because I only play the
Oh.
Switch.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with Andrew there too. I mean, I play the games like here and there, when I was younger, but never really got into them hardcore. But like, if someone was like at their house and they had it, like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's play it. Oh, yeah.
If it's on the Switch, you know what will be on the Switch? Skyward Sword. And that's something that Ryan's going to talk about.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
we got Skyward Sword HD coming out, and there's a tweet from Nintendo, and they say, "Meet the new Zelda and Loftwing amiibo launching on 7/16. This amiibo features two characters on a single base and can be used to travel between the surface and the sky in The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD." Here's the problem. So the amiibo, fine. Nintendo's released a lot of amiibos that have launched with first-party games. They add some things here and there. In Breath of the Wild, you can get armor upgrades, different items. Yeah, ammo for that, chain machine gun. But so with Zelda Skyward Sword HD, the amiibo unlocks the fast travel function. It is locked behind using that specific amiibo. Oh, and by the way, you can only use that amiibo in Skyward Sword HD. You can't use any other amiibos from any other Zelda series. You can only use that one, and that unlocks fast travel. Now, That's a really slimy business tactic, and it's not the first time Nintendo has done it. They did it with the release of Metroid Samus Returns, and now look, I'm a huge Metroid fan. If anyone knows me, it's one of my favorite series of all time. You know, even me, I didn't bother buying those amiibo for Samus Returns. I'm like, the fact that hard mode is unlocked when you scan an amiibo in and pay an extra 25 to 50 bucks because it was a 2-pack, that's a bit ridiculous to me. And they're doing the exact same thing. It's just a way to sell this amiibo. And I'm also looking at it a different way. What's this going to do for speed runs for Zelda Skyward Sword HD? If you don't got that amiibo, that's going to kill your run. So you got to pay 25 bucks if you want to be the best in the world in speed running for Skyward Sword HD. I don't agree with it. I don't like the practice. I think it's slimy. I think it's unethical. But they're big companies, and they'll do what they want, I guess. People are going to buy it anyway. I just don't agree with it.
Listen. As Nintendo's lawyer, okay, I have to say that they're making the right move because they need money, okay?
Oh, yeah, they're super
They need
hard up for money.
money.
Super
No,
hard up for
I
money.
completely agree with you. I read that and I was like, come on, man. Like you said it too with with Metroid on the Nintendo 3DS and stuff. It's like, why do you have to do that to people? Just stop. Like, first off, I personally don't care about Skyward Sword. But then when I saw that, I started to care. I was just like, why? What is wrong with you? But whatever. I mean, like, big corporations going to be big corporations, man. At the end of the day, they're going to do what they think is best. And, they're going to make money and people are going to buy it, even though they're going to complain. So, whatever.
I think it looks like a pretty sweet amiibo, personally.
It is. No, Pat's right. It's a really well done amiibo. But the fact that they're hiding features behind it, it kills it for me. It kills it for me.
I feel you.
It looks sweet.
But it looks sweet. Yeah, it does.
Especially like what you said too with the whole speedrunning thing, because I know speedrunning is such a big. There's a huge community for it, especially on Twitch. There's a lot of Twitch channels dedicated to just speedruns, and yeah, like you said, now they have to buy an extra thing just to do that. So I'm gonna look up this. I didn't see the amiibo actually.
Look it up. It's
It's really-
pretty. I think it's like a lot bigger than your standard amiibo, and it's got Zelda and one of the. I never played that game.
Well, they're
one of the birds.
The Loftwing.
Yeah, sure, the Loftwing. It looks cool though. Like the detail on that amiibo is really good compared to your typical, like Smash Brothers amiibo.
No, I mean, here's the thing. You could buy it anyway, and people are just gonna buy it if they don't even have the game, if they're an amiibo collector. So there's really not harm done there. But the fact that my biggest issue is they're locking away game features through an amiibo, and I don't agree with that. That's a quality of life upgrade that game should just have at a base level. That is locking behind an extra 25 bucks. So if you want that quality of life, I mean, you're not paying 60 for it, you're paying 85 at this point, which is bleh.
Right.
Bleh.
Pretty much.
That's still a really sweet looking amiibo.
Yeah.
Damn it, Pat.
I seriously think my friends decided to play spoiler because Ryan knows I gave him this story because I wanted him to maybe justify it, and Pat knows that I was kind of suspecting maybe he would join in on possibly arguing with him about it, and Pat decided, I'll just say it's a pretty sweet amiibo, which completely threw a wrench. We both threw a wrench in my whole plan, but that's okay. That's
it looks
alright.
it looks dope. I want one.
Yeah. Okay.
I unironically want one of those amiibo.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Plot foiled.
Speaking of, well, before I guess we move on, does anybody else wish to speak on the sweet amiibo that you can purchase per duty space?
Yeah, I'll speak on it.
Okay, Johnny has some.
So the thing is, when I saw this idea, I was like, oh, cool, because I heard when they announced it and everything, like, I'm not really like a big Zelda person, but I like to see other people play it and see them enjoy themselves. Seeing this, they got an HD, and then basically everybody flipped their shit, and then seeing this amiibo, I was like, okay, that looks like a sweet amiibo, and then seeing the reason why, it's like, really? Like, okay, I understand. Nintendo got to make their money. That's perfectly fine. But this is an ongoing thing that has been happening in all companies. They lock some type of content with big games behind a paywall. And up to this point, I'm getting fucking tired of it.
Ooh.
Because I'm getting it's like I want to actually play the game like to the fullest instead of like, hey, they're going to have this whole storyline, but if you pay a $5 a month, you can actually play this on top of it, and you get extra experience.
I think Dudius will be recruiting you to his side of the table because he's very much indie. When he will not buy like anything Activision and other companies who do shady things.
Listen, I haven't bought an Activision game in like 3 years. The last Ubisoft game I bought was the first Assassin's Creed, and I struggled for about 7 or 8 hours on whether or not I was going to buy Mass Effect because it's Electronic Arts. And listen, I love me some Mass Effect. So when that 8 hours was like torture.
Another game that I probably would have played if it would have been released on the Switch, but hey, I get to miss out, so.
Andrew, do you have a Wii U?
Yeah, I do actually.
You can play Mass Effect 3 if you wanted right now.
Oh, well, I mean, I have an Xbox One X, so I could play it, but I don't want to. Just don't.
That's not a Twitch.
It's not
Because
a
you
Switch.
can't play it. You can't play it on the toilet unless you arrange
Exactly.
mirrors to play it in
Right.
your living room.
I wanna kind of go on.
Andrew, you baffle me.
I know, I love it. Thank you, thank you. Actually, you can't see it, but that's a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wii U box. Not deluxe, right? Just regular Mario Kart 8 pre-installed game box with the Wii U. I don't know why I have that, but anyway, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about DLC because I also hate having things stuck behind a paywall. So I'm gonna go into Pokemon real fast. Sword and Shield were garbage games. They were fun for a while. You beat the game. It's like an 18-hour experience. It's good for people. Yeah, Ryan.
Oh no, I'm pointing to Pat.
Oh, okay. So the game's cool. It's 18 hours, whatever. It's baby's first Pokemon. If you've never played a Pokemon game, you should play it. Whatever. But then they released the 2 DLCs. First one, garbage. Didn't really add anything. Second one, absolutely amazing. That online feature where you could play 4-player co-op with your friends and do raid battles should have been in the main game. And I hate that they are doing stuff like that because they know it's going to sell and they're going to make their money. I get it. I understand. Big corporation's going to big corporation. I get it. They got to do what they got to do. But it sucks as a consumer because, you know, I don't want to spend all this money and I'm forced to because I have an addiction that I need. All right, I'm done.
Yeah. Well said, little brother.
Just wait until Nintendo starts charging $70 for games. 'Cause
It's
please,
going to
God,
happen. It's going to
no,
happen. They're going to
no.
follow
Next
suit.
gen.
Yeah, exactly. The Switch Pro will 100%. Breath of the Wild 2 launching next year, March 2022. Switch Pro, $70. $300 or $400 console, $70 game. Calling it right now. No deluxe edition too. No bundle either, because they suck.
Oh, they'll
Hey.
they'll bundle.
Not Breath of the Wild. Though you'll get Mario Kart 8.
No, I can't. You see what Breath of the Wild did for the launch of the Switch? Like they're betting big money on that game.
No
I
bundle.
bet there'll be a bundle. There'll be a
There wasn't a
special
bundle
edition.
then.
There will be a special edition Switch with the dock and Joy-Cons. Andrew, I'm gonna put money on it right now, brother.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Right
put
now, brother.
How
this
much money?
Durant
$5.
card. This is what I'm putting on it. You get this Durant.
Durant card.
You know what I think
Fine.
about this card? That's what I think about it right
Durant?
there.
Oh, Jesus
What do you think
Christ.
about that?
I forgot you guys
It's
can't see my
nothing to me.
webcam. You can't see my webcam. I'm sorry.
Nothing.
No, I can see
Oh,
it.
you just ripped
Oh.
that. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I ripped it. Yeah, that's what I think about your stupid bet. I'm sorry.
Yikes! Wow.
What do you
Much
rip?
disrespect. It's okay.
Hey, so
I still think the Amiibo looks pretty cool.
I will die on that hill, he says.
Nintendo, eh? Well, not only do they send their lawyers out to handle things, their ninja lawyers, apparently they also get buddy with other console makers. So there was, as you guys know, and as a bunch of people know, Apple and Epic are having a court case, and in this court case, all kinds of things are coming out. You know, there's leaks to games that have been worked on. There's leaks to games that were canceled. Different news, but there was also a couple of court documents that Nintendo redacted. This kind of came out I don't know. Sometimes speak, I can't remember. But what's interesting about that is they were talking about Game Pass, and they had, they were talking about the fact that they had spoken to Nintendo about blank console, effectively is the gist, right? So the speculation is, are they talking about putting Game Pass on the Switch or the Switch Pro? And that's sort of the question. So I want to know, do you guys think we will see Game Pass come to a Nintendo console? I'm not gonna wall off Switch or Switch Pro, but a Nintendo console. I want to know. By all means, whoever wants to speak up first.
Is that before? Is that before or after we get Netflix?
We're never getting Netflix.
It'll
We're never getting
be
Netflix.
before we get Netflix.
No.
Because we're never getting it.
Correct.
I have
Yes,
something to say.
yes,
I
Andrew.
forgot you can't see
Oh,
my webcam.
Andrew.
I'm sitting here
Oh,
raising
no,
my
we
hand.
can't.
Yes, Bruno.
Just yell real loud.
Okay, so I don't think so, but I want it. I will pay. I'd pay like a lot of money. I don't know. I want it so bad it hurts. Like the Switch Pro would be such a great console to do this on. Like they could just think about it. You have Breath of the Wild 2 launching March 2022, Switch Pro launching March 2022, and then followed up with another announcement with Phil Spencer coming out. Reggie comes back just for this one announcement. They're hanging out, they're holding hands. And he goes, "It's here." And they open up a box and it reveals, this cute little animation of Samus and Master Chief holding hands.
Oh,
Oh.
And then it's just, you get, they're like, "It's available now. Go download it on your Switch."
Oh.
I don't think it'll happen, but I want it. That's how I feel. I can't see Nintendo doing that. I mean, I don't know. I can't see them putting the words Microsoft or Xbox anywhere near their brand.
you say that.
They already did that.
I know.
Go ahead, Ryan,
It's like
say it. Do it.
Fortnite.
No,
No?
Ryan, do it.
No, you're talking about having Banjo-Kazooie and K. Rool and Smash,
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah, but
Ori.
that's
Ori. Now, yeah, see, Andrew, I'm with you. I don't think it's going to happen because if you're looking from a business standpoint, like you can get games for free and you're paying a subscription to Game Pass, but you can either buy it, get it for free, or pay money on Nintendo's system. Why would Nintendo want to give up that money if they're going to put Game Pass on the Switch?
Does they get a cut of it?
How much is the cut? I don't know.
Okay.
But
I got another question then. Is it going to be, would we get other games besides like, Xbox games and stuff like that? Would we get like Nintendo games on Game Pass as well?
I'd be willing to
never in a
bet.
million years.
I'd be willing to bet that you would get on Game Pass stuff that wasn't like specifically available on Switch. Like there'd be some sort of limitation
Okay.
to what was on the
Yeah.
console, and then
Yeah.
it would half the library price stream.
Okay.
It'd be like
Yep,
Control.
I can see that. Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if they announced that. I probably would have a heart attack. If I could
The
play the
internet would explode.
Yeah, if I could play the Master Chief collection anywhere in any room of my house on the go and handheld, I will. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Let's go, baby.
Love your enthusiasm.
Thanks.
Andrew.
You have to buy a bigger SD card, that's for sure.
Hello.
It's
You're not
true.
wrong.
Unless the Switch Pro remedies that.
Yeah, could be.
It
We
won't.
don't know.
Potentially,
It
maybe.
won't. It won't. He says.
It won't.
He said it won't. Johnny
Take less,
Kyle.
less onboard storage.
I play PlayStation.
Ooh.
Johnny.
Well, don't Switch actually have like a service that's kind of like that when they actually release certain old school Nintendo games every
Yeah, but
month
it's
or so?
poo poo. It's
It's
poo poo.
doo doo.
It's doo
It's,
doo.
it's garbage.
It's sexy
Um,
trash.
Sexy- Okay, I can go with that.
Trash is sexy.
But
but oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
No, you're good.
But the idea is if it can work. Would I want it? Yeah, I definitely would. It works so much better for me because I also have Game Pass on Xbox, and it's really this is like trying to think of the right word. Plausible. for the console, especially like for Nintendo and everything, because more or less like you probably would get like a digital copy of some type of game down the line. Nintendo was known for that. Even though there's are people like you guys that like physical copies of games, there's some people that like digital, and it'd probably be working better if Nintendo had this type of platform on their service. I think it will work. Most definitely, it will make them a lot more money, and I'm surprised that they haven't really pushed that on their system. But I just gotta wait and see. But overall, I would love Game Pass on there for sure.
I got a question.
Sure.
Do you think this would boost sales for Switches?
Significantly.
No,
Significantly.
Yeah,
You
it
say
would boost sales of-
significantly.
I think it would boost sales of Game Pass.
I
So
yeah,
first it's the
I think Game Pass, obviously, yeah. But I'm just curious. Do you think this is going to sell consoles?
No.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with Dudius because I see PC players that actually grab Switches as their secondary console. You have, hardcore Xbox fans. I mean, if there's a means to take your Switch with you over to, I don't know, your in-laws or something who has Wi-Fi, it's much better to take that than it is to take your whole damn console. Now I know, put on your phone, but boy, I would much rather do it on my Switch, and so I think it moves some. I don't think it moves like gangbusters because of it, but I could see some Xbox, only players picking up a Switch to be able to play certain, especially if they can move their save files.
Yeah.
I could totally see exclusive Xbox players picking up a Switch as their companion console.
Okay, another question then. Why would they do that when they already have the ability to play on the go with their phones?
Because it's way better to play on the bigger screen.
I
You
agree.
you have a designated controller.
Yeah,
You have all the reasons that you have to play on a Switch.
but
period.
they already have their phone. Why spend, however much money, $200 to $300 to buy a console to do something that your phone, if you have an Android phone, can run very well. I've seen demos, and I know friends that personally play through,
Your brother.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So you already have a Switch, though.
Yeah. Oh, and I went and you know what I did? I bought the controller add-on for that, and you know what? The controller add-on not as good as holding a Switch.
Yeah. I
So,
mean,
there you go.
I'm with you. I'm just saying.
Okay. You're playing devil's advocate. It's cool.
Right, exactly. You got to think like these scumbags that love Xbox, okay? These Microsoft
Oh my
fanboys
God.
over here.
I'm out.
Oh, Johnny's done.
He's gone.
God, I disrespect Matt like that.
Listen,
You're so racist.
listen.
You're so racist.
Someone in here has to be the heel, okay? I've decided to be the villain.
Yes. Go ahead.
Anyway.
I can respect that.
My argument is that the number of Switch consoles is going to move the same regardless. Like how many times you go out to the store and you see extra Switch consoles?
Never.
Like you
I
might
do all the time.
you might occasionally see a couple of lights, but like I'd never see full model Switches out there, like just sitting on a shelf. They're gonna move. They're gonna move regardless. I don't think Game Pass boosts that any. I think what will boost, well, what will get boosted will be the Game Pass subscriptions. All the guys that only have Switches will want to be able to play Microsoft, especially when it comes to the Bethesda games they can't get anymore.
Good point. That's a good point.
I like it.
So, with that, I know we're running short on time. So, Andrew, Kyle, if you guys don't mind, I'll flip-flop you because I know Andrew's on a little bit of a time constraint.
Yeah.
Andrew, would you like to go first?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
What do you have for us, little brother?
So,
Little big brother?
22 years ago, we were all introduced to a wonderful game called Pokemon Snap. And now, I don't know about you guys, but I remember going to McDonald's by my old place of where I lived and playing it on the Nintendo 64 and just being like, this is the greatest thing I've ever played. Like, it's just so mind-numbingly boring and addictive, okay? It was so amazing, and we waited 22 long years. I don't know why it took them this long, but we finally got new Pokemon Snap, and you know what? It is amazing. This game just like it's the first one is so boringly addictive because all you're doing is it's an on-rails game where you snap photos. It's that simple. You can sell it to anybody because they go, "What is this game, Bobby?" I'm glad you asked, John. You just take Pokemon photos, dude. Wow, that sounds boring. Well, let me show you a demo. You hop in your Neo 1. You get on the track. You're going down. You see your favorite little Pokemon. You see a Pikachu running around. You have an option to throw a Fluffle Ball at it or a Fluffle Fruit. It's an apple, but Nintendo doesn't want to call it an apple. I don't know why. So you throw it at it. It bops it on the head, and it gets all excited. And you can take photos of it, or it runs off, and you can get it to do other types of things. And it's just so much fun. What?
It gets all up in there.
It gets all up in there. And it's mind-numbingly boring fun. I know that sounds weird. Boring and fun in the same sentence, but it's true. If you haven't played it, you just don't understand it. So the game takes place in the Lentil region, and you're hanging out with this guy named Professor Mirror and his assistants Rita and Phil. And Todd is actually a kid from the first game. Yeah, he's back. He's 22 years older. He's cool. He wears the exact same outfit. It's kind of weird. The graphics... absolutely amazing. I gotta tell you, this game was meant for the Switch Pro. Like, I hope it gets like a port to the Switch Pro or it gets like, updated or whatever because it's gorgeous. And I want to see it in 4K because it's got the potential for sure. But as I was saying, you're hanging out with Professor Mirror and his assistants Rita and Phil, and you're hovering in this little hovercraft called the Neo 1, and you go through these different levels. There's like a jungle level, a forest, a cave, ice cavern, all sorts of different things with different types of Pokemon, and you replay each level to get experience points, and you get experience points by taking photos. I know, crazy, Pokemon Snap. You snap photos of the Pokemon, and each photo has a different rating that Professor Mirror gives you. There's silver star ratings, there's gold star ratings, 1, 2, 3, and 4 star ratings. It's this whole entire thing. It goes in depth with all the different types. Like you got where the Pokemon was in the photo. Was there background things in the photo? Was there other Pokemon in the photo? It's a whole entire rating system. And sometimes I disagree with Professor Mirror. I'll show him a photo that I think is perfect. And this guy gives me a 1 star. I'm about to throw my Switch out the freaking window. It makes me so mad. I'm like, I just spent 20 minutes writing in this Neo 1 trying to take the perfect photo for you, and I get a 1 star. It makes me so frustrated, but it's so much fun. So you're just going out there, you're snapping photos, you're doing all these different things, and the more you play the levels and the more it levels up, the more interactions happen throughout those levels with those Pokemon. So it starts off, there's not really much going on. A lot of them are just kind of hanging out, sleeping, doing all sorts of stuff. But as you play it more, the level really expands and it just gets so immersive where Pokemon are running up to your cart at this point. There's new Pokemon showing up. Then, without getting too spoilery, there's in the first level, after you get to level 4, you can literally, there's a fight between a Pinsir and a Heracross. Some of you probably don't know what either one of those two Pokemon are, but in the anime, they always had some kind of rivalry together, and it was really cool to see that in like HD. Just watching those two fight, and you're snapping photos of it, and it's just so cool. And I love it so much, guys. It's so much fun. Like I said, it's so mind-numbingly boring, but addictive, and my daughter loves it. She will sit there and watch me play it. She's only 3.5 months old, and she just is like, oh my gosh. Like, she just watches. I can play through a level, and there's so many colors, there's sounds, all these different things, and it's just, I'm loving it. I honestly think you guys should pick it up if you haven't already. I don't think it is worth $60, but I mean, there's a lot of replayability and stuff like that, which I guess people can argue that gives them, the reason for the $60 price point. When I originally wrote like a script, I was gonna do a whole YouTube video about this, but I just never had the time. I had actually said that I hadn't beaten it at that point. Well, then the next day I did because there wasn't much more to it. I think I put maybe 6 hours of gameplay and I had the whole game beat. Now, obviously, I could go back, and I have been, to get, the 4 stars for every single Pokemon. You want to max out. You got it. It's like catching them all in the OG games, but you got to snap them all. Yeah, you like that? But, there's a lot more I could go into it, but I don't want to hog that much time because I do have to get going, and I know Kyle's got some stuff to say about Resident Evil 8. I do have to say, even though I don't think it's worth $60, if this game was $40, I would have definitely given it a solid 8 out of 10, just because it's a lot of fun. It's very nostalgic for me because I grew up with Pokemon, like the first 151 Pokemon, playing Pokemon Snap, like I said, traveling back in time to those really awesome kiosks at, Blockbuster, even like, I think Babbage's, or what was it? Oh, man. in the
Walden
mall.
Software.
What was it?
Walden Software.
That one. See, that's too old for me, bud.
Electronics Boutique.
Damn kid.
What was it? Babbage's, right? Wasn't that a game store?
There was one, but
EB Games.
EB
That's
Games,
it.
thank you. EB Games had a kiosk. Blockbuster had a kiosk. McDonald's, Burger King, they all had a kiosk, and they all had Pokemon Snap. And I just remember having so much fun. And when it came out on the new, on the Nintendo Switch, it was a perfect fit for me. I had to buy it. I had to get it. I played it. I loved it. I think you guys should play it too. It is really, really fun.
You know what I want to
Andrew.
buy? You know what I want to buy?
Hmm.
I want to buy your enthusiasm.
Thank you. It's okay.
Just
Listen.
jar it up and then just save it for when I need it.
So the reason I'm so enthused, those who don't know, Pokemon is the greatest thing that's ever existed, next to my wife and daughter. I am in love and obsessed with Pokemon. Kyle tells me that my opinion changes on. What?
I said, and your brother.
Oh yeah, sure, whatever. But Kyle says my opinion.
Your Pokemon opinion will never change.
No. I Pokemon through and through to the day I die, and anything they put out, I have to get and I have to play. And I am very harsh on newer Pokemon games, but yeah, that's right. You're chopped liver. But this, for real, it's not just some fanboy talking, blowing smoke. This is a legitimately fun game to just kill time. Like if you've got 20 minutes before something like a meeting or whatever, you can just pop out your Switch when you're on the go because it's the greatest console ever. Load up Pokemon Snap. You can run through a level real fast to do all different types of stuff. I highly recommend it.
Well,
Said.
I mean, I'm definitely ready to rent it.
Did you take
Library.
Adderall today?
No, I just love Pokemon, man.
He's high on Pokemon. Andrew, would you recommend this game to a non-Pokemon fan such as myself?
Yeah, I think so. Because do you like gorgeous backgrounds?
Sure.
Do you love amazing sounds?
I can, yes.
Now close your eyes. Let me paint you a picture.
They're closed, Andrew.
You're
Paint
on
that picture,
rails.
Andrew.
You're on a little hover cart, right? And you're just going through the wilderness. And you
Yeah.
hear the woods around you. The forest is coming alive and talking to you. And next thing you know, you hear Pikachu! And you're just there, buddy. You're in the forest. There's a Pikachu running around. I know. You get your camera out. You're snapping photos left and right. It's amazing.
Can I open my eyes, Andrew?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know why, but I pictured the end of Gladiator where he's like hitting all the wheat and stuff, and there's a Pikachu that puts fucking grass.
I will see you again, but not yet.
So real quick, Vault713 in the chat says, "Can you play on VR?" Oh man, if there was,
that would be awesome.
That would be badass.
Labo!
Yeah, Labo support. They could have done Labo support, Andrew.
yeah, okay, because that's not dead already.
Well,
Hey,
that was a trick.
Garage Studio.
It's coming. I'm excited.
Garage, la-di-da, garage. Look at this guy, garage.
Garage, yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, Dick, your rash.
Call it what it is, a car hole. So Andrew just took us on quite the adventure.
Good luck following that
And-
one, Kyle.
And
Mine's not going to be anywhere that long.
yeah, Kyle. I mean, we're at 8:58. By all means,
All right.
be a man of limited words if you so desire to be.
I desire. Okay, so yeah, I recently just played through Resident Evil Village. I'm on my third playthrough now. Without going into spoilers, because I'm going to have a video coming out about it. We're going to try to have a podcast next week about it, so we're going to go into it then. But I really enjoyed this game. This game is, I give it about like 8.5. I think it's really, really good. It does have some flaws in it. It's like the perfect balance, in my opinion, between horror and action. Because when a game wants to have action, it has fucking action. And when it wants to be scary, trust me, it gets fucking scary. And graphically, this game looks amazing. The sound design in this game is amazing. Like, there's times where I thought shit was going on in the house that was actually in the game, and I had to like double take. And and as a Resident Evil fan, this is almost perfect. It with like puzzles and whatnot, they need. I still think to amp their game up, they're still too simple. Some things are a little linear that don't need to be. There should be more exploration to find out what you need to do, in my opinion. But if you're not a Resident Evil fan, I would pick up 7 and then play this. It's an excellent game. I don't want to go into spoilers about it because I have a lot to say about what's in the game for anyone that hasn't played it. But a good game. Capcom, you did great. I love you.
Hey, Kyle, can I ask you a question?
What?
So, real quick, you know how much of a big sissy boy I am, and I get terrified of absolutely anything, correct?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Would that part that you and my brother were talking about in the chat, would that part make me probably cry?
You would
Yes.
quit playing.
Okay,
There's
okay.
no doubt you would
So,
quit playing.
for those-
you have to do this for me.
For those who don't know, we didn't try, actually. We streamed for 3 nights Resident Evil 7 in VR, where I played it in VR and we streamed it, and it was the most horrifying thing I've ever done in my entire life. Now, you saw my reactions, Kyle. Do you think that part of Resident Evil 8 Village would get even more of a reaction out of me than playing Resident Evil 7 in VR?
Hey, you know what reaction you would have?
Yeah, what?
Do you remember the Paranormal Journeys videos that we did in high school? That would be you. That would be you.
You know what?
See that part in the game.
Then I don't want to play it.
Yeah, it's I don't know if you watched. I put the playthroughs up on YouTube, but there was times where I had to like block my eyes because I didn't want to know what was coming.
I am gonna get around to playing it because Resident Evil 7 is my favorite of the Resident Evil franchise. That followed by RE2 Remake. So I'm really, really interested in seeing where they take the story. From what I've heard, the game is really, really great. Like you were saying, and my brother was saying in the chat too, it's a good, you would say, right? It's a good mix between action and horror.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Now, Kyle,
and the story from 7 to this, like they explain a lot, like with Ethan as a character and where the story's going. Like I was pretty satisfied with it. I didn't really have problems.
Okay. Now,
what's up?
I got one more question for you.
What's up?
You knowing how much I love those 2 games, do you think that it is worth it for me to go and pick it up?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I will. I'll go pick it up then. I'll pick it up tomorrow.
And this one, you'll probably like this one more than 7, in my opinion.
Because I want to watch I want to
Yeah.
watch the gameplay videos that you're putting up on our YouTube, but I don't want to get spoiled. That's why I haven't watched them yet. I'm liking them.
Yeah.
I like them every time you put it up, and I'm like, I don't want to watch because I do plan on playing this game. I love Resident Evil.
No, I understand, because if someone spoiled one of these games for me, I would be so pissed off. You don't even understand.
Actually, real quick, I'm gonna do a little. I'm sorry to interject. I gotta do a quick little promo here. We're gonna shout out our own YouTube channel. If you didn't know, we have a Kyle explains Resident Evil the franchise to me, and he does it drunk. It is very, very funny. It is on YouTube. Unfortunately, we don't have 100 subscribers yet, so you can't just type in youtube.com/BabbleOnGaming. You have to just search. Unfortunately, you have to search Big Boy, Little Boy still. That's our old name for it to pop up. But it's a really, really funny video. Kyle goes really in depth into the Resident Evil franchise, and we were
I give like a 1-minute synopsis of each game, and I don't even know what I'm saying.
And he's
I am so down. I am so down with
he's
that.
drinking whiskey after like every question. It's by the end of it, he's drooling. His eyes he's like half closed. It's
He's
amazing.
a zombie. He's...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what I said. It was funny.
Oh yeah, that's
I will drink with you and talk about Resident Evil because I love that series so much.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
There you go.
Awesome.
So that means you're going to be on the Wednesday one, right?
I will do my best.
So we are coming to a close. I'm gonna do something this first time, and if we like it, I'll do it again next time. Here's a quick. I'm just gonna read off just a quick news stories that we left on the chopping room floor because we kind of pick out what it is we want to cover. Hades has been rated for PS4. There's all kinds of Nintendo E3 rumors that have been leaked out. We have talks of a new Kirby game coming and it possibly going 3D. There's Sonic 3 rumors floating around. We have Tencent showing off a new controller, which has like faceplates and it's like modular. And let's see, the Warner Brothers Games division is being split up, and I have a theory that a couple will be sold, but we are not going to get into that this time. Maybe next time if more news were to come from any of those things. But with that, that's episode 1 in the bag. And Andrew, if you'll allow me, since you asked me to put this together, and I was allowed to go pick out these particular people, I've decided how I want it to end.
Okay, absolutely.
And I think the man already knows who he is and what I'm about to ask for. Ryan, could you please hit me with the old school?
I will. All right. And as always, remember, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this podcast with you.
Thanks everybody. Thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next